Hey guys, Crossflux here, and it's been a while since I've made one of these videos. Although I haven't played much Smash Brothers lately, I have been playing a new game that's been receiving a lot of buzz lately. I decided to try out a free-to-play MMO gacha game called Tower of Fantasy. It's honestly mediocre in terms of polish and user experience. The story is bland, and so are the characters, but the gameplay itself is really cool. I ended up loving it so much, in fact, that I felt the main protagonist, the Wanderer, would be a perfect fit for a Smash Brothers style fighting game. So without further ado...
You wish to see me, my lord?
Hycros has sent someone into the quarantine zone. It's time to release the hounds.
Target signal lost. I can't locate it anymore.
Careful. Something about this place doesn't feel right. Apparently, here? How?
Run! It's a trap!
We need to lose them. Watch out!
As per usual, I'll briefly go over the character in question. The Wanderer, or the Executor as they're known by the Hycros organization, is a genetically modified super soldier of sorts. They are highly proficient in a multitude of weapons and fighting styles. By downloading the memories of other Executors from the Hycros database, they can become just as skilled as that other soldier in their weapon. I don't know too much else about this character, as the game hasn't been out for that long in America, and I wouldn't want to spoil anything anyways. So let's hop into how he or she would control in Smash Brothers. Let's get the boring stats out of the way first. Being a slender anime character, I imagine the Wanderer would be a bit on the lighter side. This would also fit their more aggressive fighting style, as it helps to balance out the sheer amount of damage they'd be able to inflict. Being in an open-world game with a heavy emphasis on overland travel, the Wanderer could have a higher base walking speed. Plus, they're agile soldiers, so their dash and run speeds should be above average. Jumping is part of traversal, and the Wanderer does this a lot, especially during climbing exploits. The Wanderer should fall at an above-average speed. This helps with their speedy fighting style. Now, the Wanderer would also have a special input that allows them to cheat their fall speed. Like how Princess Peach can continue to hold the jump button in mid-air to perform her magical float, the Wanderer will be able to make use of their jetpack relic in order to hover for a brief moment. The Wanderer does so much climbing that it only makes sense that they'd be able to both wall cling and jump. As far as crawling goes, I'm sure they'd have to fit into tight spots during their exploration of Ida. Alright, time to cover their actual attacks. As I said earlier, the Wanderer can use tons and tons of weapons, but for the purposes of Smash Brothers, they will be limited to their 4 basic weapons: the EM Blade, the Combat Knife, the Composite Bow, and the Frosted Spear. These 4 weapons are the most basic weapons in Tower of Fantasy. They're also the 4 weapons that every character will have access to, no matter what their gacha luck is. The EM Blade is an electric sword that focuses on quick slashes and dashes. The Combat Knife is a physical weapon that focuses on dealing with multiple foes at once, by being agile and dealing AoE damage. The Composite Bow is for sniping foes at a range, and the Frosted Spear is similar to the EM Blade in that it's primarily a single target weapon, but it has a bit more emphasis on maneuverability. The Wanderer's first weapon is the EM Blade, so it would be fitting as their standard attack combo. Using the Combat Knife, the Wanderer can create a spinning projectile that hovers slightly in front of them. With a deft twirl, the Wanderer will launch an opponent into the air. Like Ike's down tilt, the Wanderer will swipe at their opponent's feet with their EM Blade. The Wanderer places the butt of their spear onto the ground to prop themselves up as they unleash a 1-2 kick. I'm bad with these 2 attacks because I always forget they exist. Basically, the Wanderer could just stab with their spear before climbing back onto the stage, and the Wanderer would spin around, like a breakdance, using their twin blades so they can stand up safely. Their side smash will be a powerful double slash with their combat knives. Their up smash will be their heavy attack using the EM blade, launching foes into the air to be juggled. Like with mini down smashes, this attack will cover both sides of the Wanderer. By using their combat knives, they'll unleash a spinning attack. The Wanderer's grab will be a tether grab. You guys know how much I enjoy those. By using their wrist-mounted grappling hook, they will pull an enemy in close and proceed to pummel them with the hilt of their EM blade. The Frosted Spear has an ability that pierces the foe and slams them back and forth repeatedly. Both side throws would be represented using this. The Composite Bow can fire a volley of fire arrows, thus the up and down throws would be like the Star Fox Cruise. Here's where I'd like to fit in the special gimmick for the Wanderer's moveset. Like how Joker possesses a meter that allows him to charge up his persona activation, so too will the Wanderer have a charge meter. This is to represent their literal charge meter in Tower of Fantasy. This meter will fill up as you successfully land and dodge attacks. Once the meter is fully charged, it will augment your special moves, turning them into a one-time, souped-up version. Each time you use one of these powered-up moves, or a discharge attack, your charge meter will empty and it will need to be refilled. By pressing the B button, the Wanderer will fire a weak projectile, useful for peppering the foe at a distance. The discharge equivalent of this attack will have the Wanderer flip backwards a short distance, granting them super armor. Then they'll fire a long-range projectile that will pierce through multiple foes. This move will function as horizontal recovery. The Wanderer will dash forward a medium amount of distance, dealing damage to any foe in their way. This move can be used twice in quick succession, similar to Pikachu's Quick Attack and Greninja's Hydro Pump, so long as the player inputs a different direction. This move can never travel straight up and down, but it can move diagonally. The discharge equivalent to this skill adds a third use to this ability. The up special will be the Wanderer's main form of recovery. Like with Marth's Dolphin Slash, the Wanderer will quickly jump upward, piercing with their Frosted Spear. The discharge equivalent features a secondary attack that has the Wanderer immediately dash downward at an angle, making it function more like Ike's Ether. One last combat mechanic present in Tower of Fantasy that I haven't utilized for Smash Bros. Yet is the Wanderer's slow down time gimmick. By perfect dodging an enemy attack, the player enters slow-mo for a few seconds, where they are free to rack up some damage. Not only that, but this perfect dodge also instantly fills their charge meter. When I first started playing the game, I thought this was just some disconnected combat mechanic that existed just for the gameplay experience. But as it turns out, the Wanderer actually possesses the ability to slow down time in a limited AoE field. I think they call this the Chrono Gear or something like that. If any of you know the official name for this, please correct me in the comments below. Thankfully, there is precedence for this mechanic existing in Smash Bros., Bayonetta's Witch Time, so the Wanderer's down B will function practically identical to that. Their improved version of this attack simply extends the amount of time that the Chrono Gear lasts. The Combat Knife possesses the ability to shoot out an AoE burst of blades. Since a Smash Bros. Nair usually covers all sides of a character, I thought this would be a clever use for this attack. The last hit of the EM Blade's air attack combo features an overhead whack. This would function perfectly as a meteor spike. The Wanderer jabs behind them with the butt of their Frosted Spear. This is a quick but very weak attack, perfect for racking up combos. Although this Combat Knife attack is performed on the ground in Tower of Fantasy, I've reworked it so that it functions as an aerial attack. The Wanderer would drill upwards with their twin blades. The Wanderer would plunge quickly downwards with their Frosted Spear. Like with most tether grabs, the grapple hook would be launched out, dealing minor damage but flinching the Wanderer's foe. The Wanderer would have standard dashing and shielding animations. As mentioned previously, successfully dodging an attack with a sidestep will slightly fill the charge meter. Now, the main money-making mechanic in Tower of Fantasy is the gacha mechanic. I thought it would be funny if this crucial aspect to the game's design was the Wanderer's final smash. Not only that, but the summoning animation for pulling new weapons and skins in the game features a giant satellite thing shooting a big laser beam. As far as intro animations are concerned, the Wanderer does possess a variety of vehicles that they can use to travel across the land more quickly. I think having the Wanderer zoom in to the stage using their bike would be a fun intro animation. The Wanderer has a couple emotes they can use. This could be 2 of their taunts. The third would have Mia, their AI companion, appear and do something cute. The Wanderer can be completely customized based on player preference, but as far as costumes go, they could have 4 default appearances for each sex. One of the most iconic set pieces in Tower Fantasy is, well, the Tower of Fantasy, but that isn't really accessible in-game yet, at least not as far as I've played. A great stage would be the Omnium Tower, another landmark that fills in the map of this open-world game. The Wanderer is a quick and nimble fighter who excels at racking up combos. They have tremendous maneuverability and can easily air juggle. They also have a bit of zoning potential with their composite bow and air grab. So what do you guys think? I kinda hope Tower Fantasy sticks around for a bit, but ultimately for me, it's just kind of a time killer. As far as free-to-play, large-scale games go, I'm going to be sticking with Genshin Impact. Anyways, speaking of Genshin, I think I know who my next How Would They Smash character is going to be. But guys, thanks so much for watching. If you have any suggestions for how the Wanderer could be portrayed differently in Smash Bros., I'd love to hear it. Also, I'd love to see what characters you'd want me to cover in the future. In the meantime, have a blessed day.